Hi, welcome to a run through of the comics, DVDs and Blu-rays, as well as magazines that I bought this weekend. Went to the London Comic Mart, always great, love going there, always love wandering around all the tables, chatting with people, and it's just brilliant. Went to Nick's table, didn't buy many other comics, but on Nick's table I did buy a load, and I really enjoy his selection of comics. Every time I go, there's always some different ones, odd issues that I really love, the Sergeant Furies or these sort of things, Scalp Hunter, Weird Western Tales, or the DC specials. They're the sort of things that I always love to pick up, and always at generally decent prices as well, which is great. This one, Weird Western Tales. Now, I didn't buy this when it came out, but it's sort of one that I really love. I love Western stories, I must admit. Something, a decent Western story is always great to read. And this one, Scalp Hunter. Character I must admit not familiar with at all, so you can see there's Scalp Hunter story, and there's another one as well, Cinnamon at the back. Again, another character that I'd never heard of, so Cinnamon there. I don't know who did the artwork. Oh, Howie Chaykin. That's weird. Howie Chaykin. Obviously Howard Chaykin, but it's just odd. Obviously Jonah Hex. I've got the brilliant omnibus collection of that. Unfortunately, I don't think I've ever seen a collection of Weird Western Tales. I don't know if there's been a showcase book. There might have been. I can't recall. And obviously got the good old letters page, Trail Talk at the back. This one's a nice one. Again, this is another one, that some material here that I don't think's been collected. Now, I'm really hoping with the DC Finest series that they actually go through lots of these old books and bring out really brilliant collections of a lot of this material. Three Musketeers and Robin Hood. Lots of these like Brave and the Bold back in the day, or Showcase, those sort of ones. And I don't think they've been reprinted. Now, I don't know when this one was done, Three Musketeers. Might have been a fairly up-to-date one, I don't know. It looks, could be. But also Robin Hood as well, which I think is lovely. And that was definitely Brave and the Bold, unless I'm wrong, which is quite possible. And, of course, some great artwork all the way through. Robin Hood, of course, been done millions of times in comics, but it's just nice to see it in a DC special. And this one was issue 23. Two Gun Kid. This one, The Guns of the Galloway Gang. Thrills and action as you like them, as it says. Always great covers. I always love the reds. The red and the yellow. I don't know why it just always stood out for me. Dick Ayers. His artwork was hit and miss at times. Must have been one of those things. The Galloway Gang. The guns of, I should say. Bit of alliteration, of course. They loved that sort of thing, didn't they? And you can see the story there. Always very unusual artwork. Not for everyone, I must admit. It's still Tombstone Jail, and of course you got there. And often they also would include other stories, so you'd have that story, and then you might have another one. Let's just see. Saying that, there probably isn't another story in this. Oh, yes, there is. Little Ombre. So you got Little Ombre at the back, and that one's Larry Lieber, of course. Stan Lee there as well. This one's quite a decent little tale. I love that guy. Obviously a preparation for the Hulk there, or maybe the Blob sort of character, because Blob did that quite often. The Kid, and of course you've got the character Matt Hawke, Boom Boom Brown, obviously, and Nancy Carter. I wonder, probably not Sharon Carter, of course. And of course you've got the Letters pages. Letters pages are always good. I love this one. This is just great. The Mighty Marvel Checklist, a lineup of the Marvelous Westerns on sale. That's about it. So you've got Rawhide Kid number 43 and Kid Colt 120. They didn't go for the full-on. Now, some of the Western ones did actually include a bit more of a list, but obviously not all of them. But still, really good little tales, all these ones. And I've got another Western as well. And this one's a slightly big one. I was quite surprised, actually. It was quite thick. I thought, this is strange. 25 cents one. And this is obviously issue 131 of Kid Colt Outlaw. How can the thundering guns of Kid Colt stop the fury of the town tamer? Well, I guess it does, because the series would be finished, wouldn't it? But again, you got some, Larry Lieber again there. Written by. Oh, that's strange. I said written. Who did the artwork? That's strange. And art. Oh, okay. I suddenly thought, maybe I was... It was Larry Lieber. Yes, got there. Jack Keeler there. Lettered by Artie Semick. Sometimes they never put that lettering, the lettering one, but watch Marvel Superheroes on TV. I love that one as well. And you've got all the obviously channels. Absolutely meaningless to me. Obviously being in the UK, didn't mean anything whatsoever. But they obviously were very obviously War Channel, number 9, New York. You got that story there. And on to, let's go the way through there. There's a bit of artwork there. And the next one is Revenge of the Rio Bates. That's obviously Kid Colt 110, May 1963, which probably wasn't that much. I mean, this was only 1966. So having a reprint of that one already. And you can see the artwork there. And no, I thought it was going to be a bit older than that one. Oh, here's another one. Oh, this is again March 1963. Very odd. Kid Colt 109. Obviously March 1963. Who's the artwork? Jack Keller again. And let's on to the next story. They're always very short stories. I mean, which is quite good. I always like a 5 or 6 page story. Doesn't have to be long if it's a decent tale. And this one does, for some weird reason, have a Mighty Marvel checklist. So you can actually see all the stories then. It was Fantastic Four 56, and who was in that? It says here, FF's Deadliest Foes. Yes, I think it's probably Doctor Doom, I assume. I can't remember which issue. 42. Of course, Spider-Man Avengers number 33. And that's the Sinister Serpents. And also, of course, Sergeant Fury, Astonish 85. Always love the way they put that. They never put Tales to. And this one, Kid Colt and the Outlaw Sheriff. Oh, none of much. May 1963. Very odd reprint section there. Oh, we got this one. This is a really weird one. This is the one with this guy. The obviously Doctor Doom character. Always thought of him as Doctor Doom. Obviously, it wasn't Doctor Doom. Jack Keller again. And all the way through to the end, you see obviously Battle in there, the character there. Obviously, it wasn't Doctor Doom at all. Behind the Iron Mask. And then, of course, you've got Marvel superheroes coming your way on TV. Don't know if many of those have ever turned up on DVD or Blu-ray or anything. Be nice. Now, this is one of my favourites. Love this comic. Don't know why I ever got rid of it. It's one of those ones I got, over the years, I got rid of loads of comics. And this one was one of them, Justice League 110. Why? Because it's brilliant. It's a Christmas one, Santa Claus, 1973. I remember buying it up at in Maidstone, up, I think it was Lower Stone Street or Stone Street. And I loved it. Absolutely. Obviously, you had Santa Claus, Christmas, and the Justice League. And also this story, which was one of my, and also Satana as well, one of my favourite all time. I always love they include Dr. Midnight. None of the others. Why didn't they include the main character that appeared in there? Maybe they wanted to keep a secret. But this one, 100-page one. I always loved these 100-page ones. You can see there all the way around. And again, oh, you got Green Lantern, you got the Atom, Flash, etc. And of course, got poor old Santa looking a bit worse for wear. The man who murdered Santa Claus. What an absolute classic story. I love that one. Dick Dillon and Dick Giordano. And of course, you've got John Stewart turning up there as the Green Lantern. But you're not the Green Lantern, he says. Of course, he does do a great job in this. And of course, got Superman. They all end up sort of, we assume, of course, when you're reading this, and I don't want to put too many spoilers, that, of course, we assume that they all get killed. And will never admit defeat. He, of course, continues on. And that's it. But, of course, show that page. And you've got some more there, obviously, there. You've got the Martian Man and the Green Lantern. Oh, no, Red Tornado, I should say. Red Tornado. And there's the Red Tornado there. Good old Red Tornado. The new uniform is most appealing, as it says there. And, of course, everyone turns to the fourth wall and says, Happy Christmas. And the Justice Society of America, I would love to, if any of the Justice Society issues that I would love to get, of the original ones, obviously, would be that one. I expect it's vast amounts of money. I've seen many old copies of Justice Society of America, and reasonably affordable. But I've never seen this one, and I suspect this is probably one of the classics. Alex Toss. Of course, Alex Toss, straight away. Carmen Infantino and Arthur P.D. and Bernard Sachs. Yes, I've heard of Bernard Sachs. But this one, just brilliant story. Just youth gangs and obviously they all have problems there where they're captured by the Crimson Claw Gang. I don't know if the Crimson Claw Gang ever turned up again, but still, you've got obviously Hawkman there and the Flash. Not looking good for them at that point. And then on to obviously you've got the younger, or whatever they were called, but certainly the junior Crimson Claw Gang. And of course, you've got this lovely communication device, which is a message from Flash. Very handy that was, wasn't it? Obviously, early mobile phone. Of course, you've got Atom there, Green Lantern, Black Canary, obviously Wonder Woman, and of course, Hawkman there. They all dash out. Most of these adventures were often split. So you would have like most of the characters, they'd go off, and I always thought it was rather ridiculous because that always meant they were always captured. Virtually always followed that formula of being captured. So you'd have their Green Lantern and Black Canary come through, and of course they'd go off and do something. And of course, regularly you would always be hit by a piece of wood. You'd think the guy would have actually had a helmet on. Wouldn't that have been easier? But too easy. But still. Or maybe had a... No, that... You got to do those sorts of things, haven't you? You got to have some weakness in the character. But it was... And at the end, of course, you would have... I love that bit. Junior Justice Society. He's battling the little claws, not the junior claws. And they've got here... Well, I don't know what that says. Jiggers, the whole Justice Society. Run! Was that an expression? Don't know. Weird. You betcha, didn't you sick those other kids on us, etc., etc. And of course, then they show what would happen in the future. Very useful technique that. The always question is when you actually see that device, well, why don't you use that just to solve all your adventures? But that would make very boring drama, wouldn't it? But it's still, I did enjoy these. These are just great. Of course, you got there the Flash. Feed him hot lead, men. And I'm really looking forward to the Justice Society of America collection that's coming out. I really hope, hopefully, now I've got this, of course, in DC Archives, so I'm not overly worried about that. But the thing is, I am hoping that this will be also included in the DC Finest. I don't know if they're going to do it in order. So maybe the first volume will be right from issue 3, 4, 5, whatever, 1, 2, 3. Obviously, 1 and 2 didn't include the Justice Society particularly. But it's just brilliant. But my favourite, just Street Gang one. This one, Z as in Zatanna and Zero Hour. Obviously, a lot Z at that point. And of course, you've got Zatanna come through and all the characters there. And of course, Zatara as well. And of course, Zatara is one of the very, very earliest DC characters ever. And of course, my favourite, Elongated Man as well. Always good. Nice little battle scene there. What a great comic. Absolute masterpiece, this one. I don't know if it includes any details, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, about the date for that issue. No, it doesn't seem to. Strange. But of course, it's got the good old letters page. I always love a good old letters page. It's got that. Weird, and I don't know why they did that. Weird Adventure Comics. So Weird Adventure Comics, 20 cents. This was 1974. Love these issues. Jim Aparo. Brilliant, brilliant Spectre. So that was one omnibus collection that I would love to see reprinted. And that's the one that's, it didn't really come to the UK. If it did, it was probably for about a day because it sort of disappeared. So I never got a copy. I always wanted that copy. So there's more lovely DC, obviously 100 pages. Shazam one. I haven't got that one. Shazam one, I love that. Batman, Justice League of America, that was one. And they always had some really great little stories. They had 7 Soldiers as well, which I always loved. And Young Romance, and Flash, and The Unexpected. Did see a few copies of House of Mystery, the old 100 pages. I thought, should I get those? Didn't, of course. Afterwards, I thought, I wish I had. But still, that's always the way, isn't it? And you can see there the good old Spectre. Now, they were pretty gruesome. Some of the stories, they ended up, I was thinking, crumbs. When I was reading this when I was younger, I thought, wow, that is pretty gruesome. And, you know, I'm not going to show how he ends in this one, but it's pretty gruesome for a comic book. I'm surprised they didn't sort of say this is for over 18 sometimes, some of the endings. But still, you got there, of course, another one there. And you got this one, which I love. Didn't realise this, I must admit, Aquaman as the undersea city sleeps. And this is some lovely Mike Grell artwork. Just excellent. Really, really good. Recently got this in one of those sort of collections with Aquaman. I'm looking forward to the DC Finest Aquaman series coming out hopefully soon. At the end of the year, I believe. And of course, you had these. I love these ones. The old Wiz Comics and Superman one there. But this was a great little story there. And on to the next one. Adventure Comics again. Black Orchid. I really enjoyed the Black Orchid story. Unfortunately, Black Orchid didn't really last very long. Again, one that maybe they could put into a DC Finest, perhaps. Just good little stories. And let's see, I think there's a couple other stories as well here. They often did that. It shared it, something else. And let's just quickly go through this. Oh, this one's the Adventures Club presents something. Wick Walk. Okay, that's certain that means something, but looks good. Great little art as well. So this one, oh, Tarzan, good old limited collector's edition. So I love these ones. These are just great. This one's issue 430 of Adventure Comics. I know, I love these ones. Absolutely brilliant. Marvel Collector, Item Classic. Always try and pick one or two up. Every time I go to Comic Mart, I always try and get one of these because they're just great. They're really good little things. Now, they generally you can find them for £2 or £3, maybe sometimes cheaper, sometimes more. And they're just great. Absolutely brilliant. Because the thing is, unless you, of course, buy the original comics, this is probably about the best way to get to see the original comics without going, because of course now they've all been re-cleaned up, coloured and redone. Yeah, which is fine. I love those. Got no problem with that. And I always love that as well. Look at that. Just quite great. What? I mean, really? That is so odd, isn't it? Who did that, I wonder? Because that isn't in the comic, I don't think. I'm certain that scene isn't in the comic. And of course got Dormammu there as well. Of course, got details, Roy Thomas, etc., etc. And it's just great just to see these in the original format and not sort of like, obviously the omnibus editions, Marvel Masters, are great. No problem with them at all. But you can still see this original artwork. And it's just great little stories, I think. And on to the next one. Actually, I wonder if he ever turned up, because he's quite powerful, obviously, this character here. I mean, he's the infant terrible. He could probably give Galactus a good run for his money as well. And then Immortal Combat with Captain America. Classic story, that one, of course. Tales of Suspense. And then you got, of course, Spectacular Spider-Man. That one I've always regretted never getting. Quite often, I've seen it at Comic Marts. And it always seems to be in the box in front of me and someone always grabs it. So always that one seems to elude me. I think I will never get a copy of it. I've got it, of course, in collections, but that's not, would be nice to get that one. And of course, brilliant little Iron Man tale there. Obviously, Captain America coming in, but you can see a bit of a conflict there. So bop, as he does that. What's the hurry, partner, he says. And on to the next one. Duel with the Dreaded Dormammu. Masterpiece. Loved Ditko. Doctor Strange. Just absolute. Now, Mr. Master, I should say, of Macabre Menace. That was Stan Lee. The art by Steve Ditko. Weaver of Wondrous Witchcraft. Good stuff, eh? And you can see, obviously, clear there. And, of course, you've got the, what's his name? The mindless ones, weren't they? Was it the, yes, the mindless ones. Of course they were mindless ones. Battling away there. And of course that caused all his problems. And of course the mindless ones they could go through, and that was his barrier disappeared. And of course, poor old Dormammu took his eye off the ball at that point, and his realm was invaded. But these are classics. I love these collector item classics. And of course there's other ones as well. Marvel Superheroes, Marvel Tales. I haven't got many Marvel Tales. That's a Spidey one. And Thor. I think Thor's in that one. And Human Torch. The Essential Guide to Movies of the 60s and 70s. Cinema Retro. It cost me £7.50. And it's the latest issue, 59, issue 59. Never bought it before, so it was just great to pick a copy up. And you can see the contents there all the way through. Got some obviously posters there of all the various films. Play It Cool, obviously, Pretty Baby, and Twins of Evil. And, of course, it's got a lovely little introduction, got lots of details about various things. And I'm thinking it's always good, as well as, of course, some details of various releases and things. Dr. No limited edition, as well as new books featuring about on British television. That sounds quite good, that one. Armchair Cinema. I will be looking out for that one. Anyway, except not at the price it's charging. I completely forgot about that. £110. Now, great. It's a lot of research done in these ones. Edinburgh University Press, but £110 for the hardback. That is steep. But anyway, also you got some other ones there. Datelines, obviously talking about 1967, one of my favourite years. And you also got Cinema 101 there, talking about all various films as well. Picnic on a Hanging Rock. And a Pretty Baby film. And also, what's the next one here? Oh, got a poster there for War Wagon. Not a film that I'm familiar with. As well as Cinema Retro there, you can see there. I will definitely be getting this magazine. Maybe just at the Comic Mart. I don't know. But it's one of those ones that I could get, of course, a subscription for that. Soldier Blue. I love a soundtrack review. And this is good. It's got obviously a real good one there. Talking about all the various Bond ones there. I don't know if they're talking about it, but they've obviously got a picture. Yes, they do talk about it. As well as Inchon. Again, not a film I'm familiar with. And UFO and Stingray. Great. And then we're on to Dodie Marshall. I was talking about Dodie Marshall there. Easy come, easy go. And The Twins of Evil. I love those horror films. I mean, they're really awful, but I thoroughly enjoy them. Just great to watch. I watched that one recently, Twins of Evil. Obviously got a few pics there. Obviously there's the vampire there. Close away, he's got his character looming over there, sort of rubbing his hand. And of course, there's a lot of puritanical aspects of this. Obviously, Peter Cushing plays a very unpleasant character all the way through the film. And I guess he probably didn't think himself unpleasant, but I must admit that was my interpretation of the film. And then on to some more bits, obviously showing various posters. And the thing was, Hands of the Ripper was also part of the double bill. And that was very enjoyable as well. Watched that recently. That was great. That had Eric Porter in, and of course, Anjad Rees. Can't show that page. Lots and lots of pics there. They obviously went from Diamonds Are Forever, the special effects of. And I love those ones where it shows all the different special effects. And on to the next page, and this one is David Jansen, Warning Shot. And on to, let's go Pinewood. Oh, that was excellent. Love that book. Alfred Hitchcock, Storyboards. Brilliant, worth picking up. What I didn't know about that one, Irwin Allen, Collectibles. That's a quite nice one. And on to some more. Oh, it's got all the various films at the back. DVD spotlight. It's weird. DVD. Why didn't they put Blu-ray? 4K. Seems a bit odd to call it DVD now. Physical media spotlight. That would make more sense. Mean Streets. Haven't got that. That's a possible one to get. The Shootist. Don't know. 5 Card Stud. I love that film. That is just a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant film. This one, Dr. Terror's House of Horrors. And also, here's the Blu-ray ones on the other side. And that one, I don't know what that one is. And also, that one sounds interesting. There's one down there. Oh, we've got the Devil Girl from Mars. Not certain I'm going to be buying that one. I'm certain it's very good. Please put in the comments below if you say it's a masterpiece to watch. I suspect. It's one of those ones that probably turns up on Talking Pictures. Love Talking Pictures. Talking Pictures is just great for seeing all these films and you think, do I want to get that or not? And then you've got some Wild Angels at the back. And let's see, I think that's Follow Me Boys. Oh, talking about something else there. And of course, more adverts at the back, which is always good. Past specials. And what's coming next? So what's coming next? Apparently The Magnificent Seven. And also Yul Brynner. Oh, okay, obviously, that's it. The Magnificent Seven rides again. And got some DVDs or Blu-ray. That one sounds great. But unfortunately, it's Australian. Sort of thing. I think that's Australian anyway. Might be wrong on that. But I love the way they've done also. They've also included 5 HD episodes of Danger Man. When did I see that it was Australian? Maybe I'm talking rubbish there. It's quite possible. That is odd. Don't know where I got that idea. Oh, yes, because it's down the bottom. Australian. So I'm a bit sceptical about that one. I would love to get that one. But if it's Australian and it's Region A, or whatever it is, Region C, that's not going to be in use. But still, this one sounds good. Tales of Venture collection. Now, I think that one's readily available in the UK. Certainly, I've saw copies of that on Amazon. And, of course, this one, I've seen these, The Uninvited and The Unseen, and The Man Who Haunted Himself. Now, always, of course, when you see an Australian one or American one, I always think I must check out whether it's Region B or Region 3. Otherwise, it's really useless for me. I haven't got a player that can play it. This one, brilliant. Oh, there was also a box included with this. You get an audio box. I must admit, I wasn't really that enthused about the audio box, but it's a nice one. Apparently, it was a random one, which is really odd. But my one was Monster of Peladon, which is quite a decent one. Wasn't one of the greatest Doctor Who's, but I thought, oh, that's nice. Actually, I'll probably give it to a mate who loves audio books. So that's that one. Print the Legend, and this is all about the Target books. And I must admit, totally nostalgic about those books. I read hundreds of those. I loved the Target books. So let's just go through it. Also noticed there was a lovely one, Doctor Who Monthly Special, and it was talking about all the lost episodes. That was quite good as well. That had lots of screenshots, all those sort of things of all the old episodes. And there you got there. And I love that sort of thing when they had that little, obviously, drawing there as well. Always good. Oops, hitting the mic there. And there it is. You've got the content. You can see it all the way through. Time Monster, Sontaran, Genesis of the Daleks. Obviously, you can see all the various writers there. Ian Marter. Oh, yes. Anyway, it's just Malcolm Hulke as well. And you could, of course, see Tom Baker showing all those. They were just great. I picked up them. I don't think I missed a single one when they came out. The Three Doctors had that one. Also, Android Invasion, really good. Hand of Fear. Now, some of the stories were very, very similar to the actual TV, but sometimes they added quite a few bits in, which is great because it discusses all those sort of things in here. Who's the big attraction? And you've got here, easy reading makes hard writing. It's just great. So it's a lot of discussion about, behind the scenes, about all the books, who was going to do it, what they were going to bring out, what didn't come out, and so on. And you've got here the Target books as well. I don't remember that one. I must admit, that one was missed. And The World of Doctor Who. I remember that poster. Yeah, it was a poster, wasn't it? Yes, promotional poster. And also I remember that as well. Of course, the number one series there. And of course, you go through that one. I don't know if I bought Reign of Terror. Might have done. Don't remember that cover. But the other ones, definitely. I had those ones. Sadly, I got rid of my copies. They were really battered. They were really terrible state. Romans. I love that one. That was a great Space Museum. That was good. Oh, had that as well. I think I might even have that somewhere. I might have done. I often get rid of books and think, I've still got that. I haven't. Doctor Who and the Crusaders. That one as well. David Whittaker. And I loved always the illustrations. Always good. That was 1967. And of course, another illustration there. And of course, some more. And it's nice they've included the ones without obviously all the blurb. And this is obviously the foreign editions as well. And of course, like I say, Doctor Who and the Crusaders. And, well, I love that one. The Ice Warriors, that was great. Enemy of the World, not one of my favourites, but still, nice to see. Web of Fear, classic. Now, I had that one. That was the one I had. And also many others. So you've got loads, of course, you've got all the way through the book. This is just page after page of great nostalgia. So if you're looking for it, it was not the cheapest, $11.99, which I think is quite a reasonable price considering it included the audio CD. Obviously, depending on your luck to get which one you want. But it does include all the covers of all these books, and I love cover books. And this one was a must-buy. Also, the Kinder, I remember those one. Forward to Doomsday. Don't remember that one. That cover, certainly I didn't have that one. Would remember that cover. The Visitation, that was a good story. Plans of Fire. And I mainly had that style. I think I was classified as the original style. And then, of course, they had all the later ones. Didn't buy so many of these ones. Attack of the Cybermen. I think I had that one. Might have had that one. Vengeance of Varos. I remember that one. And so on. You obviously got there Sylvester McCoy. You've also got Crimson Horror. I haven't bought any of the recent ones. I mean, maybe they're very good. Please put in the comments below if you think they're really good. I'm certain they are. And also, some of these are not stories. These are not made up stories. Doctor Who's made up anyway. We know that. Ones that are not part of the canon, the standard episodes on TV. So these obviously are new stories. That's what I meant. New stories. And maybe they're radio ones. I don't know. The Eaters of Light. Unless they... I can't remember every single episode of all these things. So it's quite possible, I think. Or obviously the Giggle. They've wheeled that one out. The Church on Ruby Road. And also, of course, got other ones. Oh, some more adventures there. Radio plays and other ones. And also, you've got the animated ones as well. And of course, you've even got the audio books. Lend me your ears, it says there. And so this book is just packed solid. I mean, what a great book. If you're a Doctor Who fan, I think this is just going to be a real winner for a Doctor Who fan. And I wouldn't have bought it because it's one of those ones that are sealed up. I'm not, obviously, because of the audio box. But generally, I don't like sealed ones, especially when you can't even see anything about it. And the only reason I thought, I must get that, I saw it in the Doctor Who special. And I thought, yes, you know what? They put a few pages of it. And I thought, definitely must buy that one. So pick that one up, and you can see there presents the essential guide to novelisations. Now, I don't know if they've done similar ones before. It's quite possible. But for me, this is the first one I've ever bought of this type. Really, really nice book. As I said, grew up just loving those brilliant ones. Now, I'm just going to quickly go through the various Blu-rays and DVDs and things that I bought. Ken Russell. This one, The Great Passion. I thought I was going to get this earlier, but it was about 25 quid, 30 quid, and I thought, oh, let's do it. But I saw it in the shop, and it was, yes, must buy. Brilliant, because it's all about various artists. Obviously, get it right way around. You got Always on Sunday, Isadora, and Dante's Inferno. $12.99. I thought, that's good. That's a reasonable price for some really good Blu-rays. So I was really pleased picking that one up. This one I picked up, Ragazza con la Pistola. And wow, haven't watched it yet. I've seen clips from it, seen odd bits. There's, obviously, you can find it on YouTube, whatever. But this one just filmed loads and loads of scenes around London. I love DVDs. Now, I don't know there is a Blu-ray for this one, but it's all lots and lots of scenes of London, or Londra, as it says there. I just love it. Stanley Baker, just brilliant. And it's obviously 1960, 68, that sort of period. Brilliant. As soon as I saw that and saw what it was, I think, wow. And I love those sort of films. Just great. Brilliant Italian film. Watched that last night. Absolutely. I bought this at the Comic Mart. And wow, the greatest blood show on earth. I wouldn't go as far as that. But still, this was very, very enjoyable. 50th anniversary, limited edition, as it says there. Always say that. And the extras were good. I love this one. You've got all the various documentaries, as well as some various comic book stuff as well. Also other things as well. And also visiting Hammer, the House of Hammer magazine. Really, really good collection of extras. But the film itself, of course, got Lala Ward, of course, and Lynn Fredericks, and a few other people. Lawrence Payne, Adrienne Corrie, and probably a few other people as well. Wilbur Stark was the person who I didn't realise, of course, was Q Stark, related to Q Stark. Sparrows Can't Sing. Barbara Windsor and James Booth. Really good. And so I'm looking forward to watching. I have seen it, but obviously not on Blu-ray yet, so I am looking forward to this one. Obviously all set there in the East End of London back in 1963. The kitchen sink classic, filmed in the East End of London. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But also it's got some special features. Always love those ones. Obviously you've got Q&As, etc. Interview with, love a couple of extras. I don't expect huge amounts, but it's always nice to have at least a few, and it's always good just to give a bit of context to think. I'm not even fussed if it's like the big stars that do it. Just if it's the accountant or the set designer or whoever. Just fascinating to hear a little bit of information about behind the scenes. The Servant, Dirk Bogarde and Sarah Miles. And of course you've got there all the details, and this one features loads and loads of, it's got 2 discs. I didn't realise. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm looking forward to this one. You've got locations, featurettes. That's another thing I love, when they do a good old wander around and show all the locations, what it looks like now and what it looked like back then, obviously in the film. And obviously this is 1960s. I'm a mega fan for most 1960s films. Many of them are terrible. I mean, this one isn't, but many films are not great. But I do enjoy watching them often just for the 60s and 70s. Soldier Blue. And this one, another thing I love buying are these ones where it's obviously a Blu-ray. And often the Blu-rays, if you find them from, this one is from Sweden, which is weird. But you get a Swedish one. It's got lots of different languages, obviously, in this. Luckily, it's English as well, which is really handy. But you've got lots of subtitles. All the back, of course, is all in Swedish and whatever. But it was about £8 cheaper than the other one. Now, it's possible the Blu-ray, of course, quality may be worse, may be better. I don't know. It's one of those things, a surprise once you get it on. You think, you look at it and go, oh. So I'm looking forward to watching that. Love a good story like that, Western. This one, I saw this at the cinema, Showgirls. I know it's got a terrible reputation. And I haven't seen it for years and years and years. And I enjoyed it at the time. I know I'm going to watch it and enjoy it. The reviews have been quite positive for it. I So I'm just going to look forward to rewatching this. Shocking, titillating, spectacular, trashy. Well, what can you say there? Elizabeth Berkley. Yeah, I think she was in it. Still, there's all the details there, and it's got a few special features. Most of these ones, I always find the features, the specials, the extras, are not so good on these sort of bigger ones. I always prefer some of the ones like the Indicator. Indicator is the best. And I've got one from Indicator I'm just going to show. It's like, I don't know how much of the film there is, but the extra is about 4 million extras. And one of my favourite TV series of all time. I love this film. So I'm going to, but the disc was terrible. I'm not going to lie and say it was. I opened it up and all the disc flew out everywhere. Really? Could they have done it in a slightly better box? But still, this one, season 1 to 5, Z Nation, just brilliant. Loved every single episode of this, except I've never watched season 5. So I'm looking forward to sit down and finally watching this. I don't know why I missed it. It's one of those ones that, for some weird reason, enjoyed season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, and I never got around to actually finding out how it actually ends or if it does even end. So maybe, and I think the great thing about this, Z Nation, if you're a zombie fan, sometimes zombie things can be a bit sort of, they follow the same sort of tropes. But this just like was ridiculous. You had radioactive zombies. You had zombies, zombie cows, zombies, whatever. There was whole loads of different zombies, zombie whatever. Brilliant. Just was so much fun. Also scenes where like there was a place where they actually had zombies on a wheel. I was thinking, really? That's the sort of thing that you want. Some actually thinks things through in a zombie drama. That's always the thing. I always struggled when it was Walking Dead. I always thought, why didn't they think a few more things through? But anyway, that's for drama, isn't it? But that was so funny as well. I mean, it was, the cast was brilliant in Z Nation. And they also did a spin-off, Brain's Gone Dead, about what that was called, but whatever it was called. That was a brilliant spin-off as well. There was 2 seasons of that. They were saying I didn't actually finish season 2 of that one. Must watch that. Because I'm actually cancelling my Netflix very soon, next couple of weeks. And so I might never see the end of that. So I must remember to sit down and watch how it finishes. Life on Mars, one of my favourite series as well. I really love this. I got season 1. I saw this along my local charity shop, £1.50. Thought, yes, I will buy this. Brilliant, brilliant series set in the 70s. Just a masterpiece. And it's got some bonus material, of course. Lots of good bonus material. Excellent. I'm really pleased I picked that up. This one, Invasion. Saw this listed and I thought, yes, looks great. Never seen it. I might have done once. I've started watching it and I think, I remember that now. It's got loads of special features. No. Why? Oh, why? That's very odd, isn't it? Oh, that's a network one. Strange. But maybe, of course, they didn't have any. I suppose if all the actors, all the various people involved, just not always available, maybe, but it would be nice even a discussion about the restoration techniques behind it instead of just putting trailer. But it's all money, isn't it? All costs. I love this series. The Classic Vacation Collection. So I didn't realise it existed, Chevy Chase. And I was talking to my mate about it. I was sitting there having a cup of coffee and he said, oh, what about the Vacation? And I thought, yeah, I haven't watched those for ages and ages and ages. This one, the collection, they're so funny. They are really ridiculous. Now, I'm not a mega fan of American humour most of the time. Some of it, it's obviously, Americans love it, but I'm not so. But this, for me, was just so funny. I might watch them now and I think, oh, what was I thinking? But it was really cheap. I think it was about £9 or £10. And it's got a collection, obviously, of all the various National Lampoon ones and also some special features as well. Night of the Eagle. Now, I wouldn't have bought this one, but the fact it was on Talking Pictures recently and I missed it. And I looked up online and looked at it. I thought, Night of the Eagle. You know what? That sounds brilliant. It's got one of my favourite actors, Peter Wingard. I love Peter Wingard. Jason King, of course. And apparently this was based on a novel by Fritz Lieber. So you got some special features, which is always good. Archive interview with Peter Wingard as well. Unfortunately, no episodes of Jason King. or Department S. That would be good, wouldn't it? This one I picked up just when I was going home, picked up in Keck. Always love going in Keck. Grabbers. Never heard it before. Just immediately struck me with the good old tentacles there. Thought it was about H.P. Lovecraft sort of thing. Don't know. Maybe it is. Apparently a very funny film. Maybe not. Oh, could you see a bit of thunder then? It's very strange. It's been very, very warm. It's really been hot today. And just a bit of a rumble of thunder there. But this one, apparently, Erin Island, about to receive some thirst for blood. Some usual sort of things. But it's also got some special features. And it also got a great cast. All those actors, love them. Absolutely brilliant. So I am looking forward to seeing what's that. I am quite certain it's going to be quite fun. If it's anything like Shaun of the Dead or something, that would be nice. I love Shaun of the Dead. So is that. This one, I thought, you know what? That sounds interesting. Inara. And Inara? Emil Johnson, don't know anything about it at all. But the back sounds absolutely brilliant. Fleeing an ecological disaster past the point of no return, when left of humanity must escape the hell on earth. And they go off to the stars, a giant interstellar cruise liner. Love those. Passengers. Love that one. That was a brilliant film. And also, of course, the loads of other ones that have been doing that sort of thing. J.G. Ballard, of course, love those sort of stories on spacecraft. And you can see there details, and you can see special contents, and there's a load of special. And I also love the fact they've also included some film, The Unliving, an award-winning 30-minute short film starring after the aftermath of a zombie apocalypse. It's a winner. As far as I'm concerned, got two great sounding stories on one disc there. So that should be good. Jules and Jim, brilliant film. New Wave, of course, Francois Truffaut, absolutely superb. This is obviously Francois Truffaut collection. It's obviously 400 Blows. There's loads of other ones. But this one is probably my favourite of all of his films. And you can see it's got a few extras, not huge many, presentation, etc., etc. And also the comments on the film. And that's that Blu-ray there. And finally, a weird one that I have no idea what it's about. And I might find it's terrible. It's got, of course, Christopher Lee. I'm certain it's going to be great. Susan Strasberg, Ronald Lewis and Ann Todd. And Taste of Fear. Assume it's a sort of some weird thriller, scream thriller, it says there. But look at the extras. I mean, this is the thing I like about Indicator. Indicator extras. Now, sometimes the extras are a bit, what's that? Because they're often you think, well, they're probably near enough filmed at the same time. You know, they're split. They could put them all into one big long. But the way they do it's quite nice. I think splitting them up just makes it a lot more extras there. But still, that's by the by. But it includes lots of things like about the making of the film, the assistant, this is the thing, assistant sound editor, which I just think is great. I mean, why would you want to interview the director or the producer or whatever sometimes? But these sort of people, the camera operator, those are the sort of people I really love to see the interview because they often, and some are so funny because quite often they turn around, not all, but some you sort of got people saying, oh, what were they thinking when they did this or the various problems they had. It's just great, which I don't think you get so much from some of the actors, where sometimes it can be too much of, oh, it was wonderful. You know, everything's, you know, I love working with this person, love work. You think, yeah, okay. But what I want to know is what film stock did he use? Maybe not everyone's interested in that, but that sort of thing, it's always good. And also it's got audio recordings of various things about who the person did the audio recordings. Also, original cut down home cinema presentation. Love those. Super 8 ones. They were always very weird. And many others. Also, lots of things like Hammer's Women, I should say. And Todd. Also, BFI South Bank interviews and many others as well. 2 presentations of the film as well. Taste of Fear, rarely seen original UK title sequence, and Scream of Fear, the alternate US titles. They're always interesting as well. So that's that. Well, what have you bought this weekend? Did you go to the London Comic Mart? Because I think it's just great. It was quite busy. It was quite decent there, I thought. And there were some great things. But one thing I did buy this week that I didn't think I was going to be buying, and that was the Invincible Iron Man Omnibus Volume 2. I thought, when's that coming out? And suddenly I went back online, had a quick look, and it's come out this week. And I thought, this is this week. No, very soon anyway, if not. But I've ordered it, and that's coming from Books Etc. I was generally Books Etc. I'm quite happy with those. Sometimes I get omnibuses from Amazon. They're not always, so I prefer to get them from Books Etc. Books Etc. is generally my regular go-to, but there's also a couple others that are quite decent as well. And I'm really looking forward to Volume 2. Also, Volume 3 is not far off as well. So Volume 3 of Invincibles, that would be brilliant. So I don't know when that will take the stories up to. Can't recall. Probably well into the 40s, 50s, I would have thought, with all those things. So that's a real good selection of Iron Man. Also, I've got an order. I've got the Speed Carter one that's just come. It's out in America, as always, of course, the Atlas Comics Library. Ordered that, so hopefully that will be here on the 21st. I'm looking forward to that, 21st of August. Ordered it from the States because unfortunately it's not readily available in the UK. Also, Nancy Show. It's an exhibition, and that, if you're a Nancy fan, which, you know, I mean, I think some of the best artwork. I really love those stories. Brilliant. Well, this volume's got loads. It's basically an artist edition of Nancy comics, and just looking forward to that. So that's coming fairly soon. That's from America as well. So other than that, that's about it for all the various things, various books. There were a couple of books at the comic, but I'm trying to slow down and buying too many books. Saying that, I go and buy the omnibus edition, so that ruins it completely. But it's always, I've actually been getting rid of a few books as well. I've been going through my collection, just thinking, finding various volumes. I assume maybe you do this as well, but I'm just going through, picking up, like, say, 3 or 4 books that's sort of similar subject, like Raphael. You got 3 or 4 books of Raphael, you go through them and you think which one or two are the best, which ones are the worst. They're all good, of course, but I just want to just trim, because sometimes some of these volumes, art books especially, art books can be huge, and you end up having loads and loads of these volumes. It takes up lots of the shelf, and you think, can't fit everything in. And so I've been going through quite a few of those, just trimming those down, putting them on eBay, and also taking them along to the local charity shop. Because sometimes I always find with eBay costs, postage, etc., sometimes it's pointless putting a book on, because basically you're paying someone to take it away, which is not really particularly great. So I just lug it along to a local charity shop instead. And well, but I'm trying to do that, just trim down a few, and then I go and buy a couple more. That's quite often. I bought the DVD of Life on Mars just when I took some books along to charity. I was, I have that. It's a curse. Guys going to these shops. I'm certain you're exactly the same, because that's the way I always seem to do it. Anyway, I hope you found this of interest, and that you will go to the next Comic Mart and have a check out for things, and look for some new brilliant comics to find. Anyway,